Champion of athletic opportunities for girls, Jean Kenney was herself a pioneer and trailblazer as a female high school administrator. While setting a high standard for leadership in her own school, she established new precedents in CAS-CIAC involvement for female administrators.
I attended my first CAS conference in the fall of 1968, and there were like 100 men there and me.
She was no nonsense, and I'm sure she held her own at some of those meetings where, you know, it might have been the good old boys network back then, but she was going to have no part of that.
Jean was a real pioneer when she was the president of CAS. There were some very tough issues, and she guided the association through them with a good deal of skill and tenacity.
While I was her assistant principal, she was the chair of the Board of Control for CIAC, and she was president of CAS at one point during those few years as well. She was chosen the high school principal of the year during my tenure with her.
I began right away lobbying for the CIAC to do more for girls, and I found that the men on the CIAC Board of Control and the men in CAS were very receptive. It was time that a lot of us had decided we should get more done for girls. And then I had moved over to Stonington and was asked to be the principal there in 1974. That was just about the time we offered the first state basketball competition for girls. That was a joy to behold. Everybody seemed happy about it, and from there on in, the scene with girls and sports programs just absolutely exploded.
I think she was driven by making sure that things were equitable. And it didn't matter that it was the girls' sports, it's just that they were the ones that at the time were beleaguered in most conferences and maybe even throughout the state, and she made sure that that wasn't going to happen. And I can't think of anybody who made probably more of an impact on that than Jean Kenney.
By the 1980s, it seems as if girls were playing almost as many sports as the boys were.
84, 85, 86, I was in high school and she was the Stonington High School principal. Because of that rooting interest from her, I graduated thinking that women could do anything. Like I thought I could do anything when I graduated.
Miss Kenney, as everyone called her, was Stonington High School. When people thought of the high school at that time, they couldn't help but think of Miss Kenney. Long before Bill Belichick, she believed that you should just do your job. And she, every day, would be sure that teachers were doing their job. I can think of many incidents where, you know, staff would one day be a little bit afraid of her and the next day come back and, you know, give her a hug because they liked something that she did.
She helped raise us, you know, to have good ideals and to know, to believe in yourself, and she kind of gave us ownership. I've always been proud to go there, and I appreciate everything that she did, and congratulations to her.
And there's no doubt in my mind that she had a major impact on a couple of generations of school administrators in the state of Connecticut. And I can't think of anybody more worthy.
I don't want to say that I didn't respect what the boys had or what they were doing. I did greatly. I just wanted the same for girls, and everybody knew it, that's for sure.